Okay, I've been talking to a friend called Davini Tisarachi. I met Davini in about 1996. I worked in Sri Lanka with an organization called Community Concern Society that worked with the poor, or still does work with the poor, from 92 till 99. And in about 96, Davini came and worked for CCS. And so I worked with her for a couple of years before I left. Got to know her really well. She was a good friend. She's a well-educated, she's a godly woman. She's a hardworking and committed woman, totally trustworthy, and a good friend.
Yes, yes. And Devaney, does she have a husband, a family?
Yeah, she's married. She got married actually not long after I left, and she's now got two sons. One is Danil, and he's 19, and the second is Daresh, and I think he's about 16 or 17.
Fantastic, Devaney.
And she rang me, sorry.
Yeah, go for it. I was about to say, so Devaney rang you.
Yeah, well, she contacted me on WhatsApp. Other social media platforms are available.
Yes.
And said, could we chat? I hadn't really had any contact with her for quite a long time. And we chatted. We had a very long chat one Sunday and caught up. But she also told me about a vision that she and another friend had for about over 15 years to start a foundation working with the poor in Sri Lanka. And she and her friend's name is Ranjani. I think we have a picture of Ranjani as well.
Yeah.
And they felt that this was the time to actually launch this project. And Davini was asking me whether I felt maybe our church could help with this. So anyway, I thought about it and prayed about it for a few days, and then I talked with Sue Wintle about it a lot and had lots of conversations with Davini before eventually we talked to the elders about it.
So Devaney, she approached you about a project that God laid on her heart called Victory Development Foundation, which is now called it. Tell us a bit more about this project and her heart behind it.
Okay, so her heart is to work with the poor, the needy, the marginalized communities in Sri Lanka. She's looking at children, youth, women, families, the elderly. She's got a huge vision.
Great.
And her vision is very much to be able to go in and help build individuals and build communities such that the community then owns the project, and ultimately Victory can move on and help elsewhere. She doesn't want to be in a position where people are permanently dependent on them, but she wants to build them and release them.
Yes, yes. So where is initially the project based?
Well, Davini lives in Moratua. So here's the map. You can see that there's an arrow on the bottom left that's pointing down to Colombo, which is the capital where I was based around there when I lived in Sri Lanka. Davini lives in Moratua, which is just south. You can see it on the map, just south of Colombo. Where they feel to start working is a place called Avisavela, which is, you can see the arrow pointing to it from the bottom. It's about 30 miles inland east of Colombo, and it's a very sort of rural area. So that's where they feel they want to start working.
Yes.
One of the things, so what the Victory, I've forgotten what it's called now, Victory Development Foundation, what they want to do is set it up as something called a company limited by guarantee, which is basically a non-profit organization, but you are permitted to actually sell products, sell things produced by the community, as long as the money goes back into the community. And that's what they want to set up. And that will enable them, once that's set up, that will enable them to look for funding so that they can follow the projects they want to follow. But Davini, I was really quite moved by this I don't know, maybe about a month ago. Davini felt God speaking to her through that passage, which Tim actually brought to us a few weeks ago, about the boy with the 5 loaves and 2 fishes. And she felt God was saying that they didn't have to wait until the foundation was registered. They should start with what they had in their hands. And so they want to start working in Avisavella with a volunteer, possibly with some local pastors, and just see what God does with that as a starting point.
Yes. Yeah, which is fantastic, absolutely fantastic, I think. And you know, church, like Penny said, probably about a couple of years ago, we felt on our hearts, and as a leadership team, we should explore growing relationships within Sri Lanka, mutual relationships. And some people already in church have been for many years sponsoring children in Sri Lanka every month, and that's been going on for many years. And we felt we should take this further. There's more to come. And I remember one prayer week, it must have been, I'm trying to think if it was a year January ago or 2 years January, I can't remember now, and we were praying for Sri Lanka. I think it was at Jamie and Vicky's house, and the thing was that it was about having one of the things that came out of it was having this mutual relationship, that actually it should be working together, that we'll be a blessing and they'll be a blessing to us as well. And for many reasons, nothing has come yet. And then Penny, as she said, approached us a few weeks back and said that she's been in contact with Devani, and actually she feels something's on this. And so we prayed about it as well, and we felt likewise actually we should go through the door. We should knock the door and see what God's doing. And so as part of that, and a part of starting this, we as a church and as a leadership team, and which was agreed by the trustees, we decided to help give initial money to help with the setting up of the what's it called again? Sorry, Penny. It's
Victory Development Foundation. A company limited by guarantee.
Yeah, a company limited guarantee. So we decided to give just over £500 towards that. You know, we want to be open of where things are going as a church, especially financially, and so we decided to give 500 towards that. But we see this as a start of a relationship with Victory Development Foundation, and I believe that there could be things coming out of this in the future where we can be a blessing to them and they can be a blessing to us. And where we hear stories of what's going on and maybe be part of the story. And it can be an exciting time with that. Would you like to share anything more about Victory Development Foundation, Penny?
I thought it might be good just to read. Okay, I've got David's proposal here. I thought it just might be good to read 3 little sections from that. So David says, the mission, Victory Foundation aims to facilitate and provide through various means a safe and developmentally appropriate environment for children, youth and adults living in poor, needy and marginalised communities in Sri Lanka. Objective, our goal is to work in child-centred community development that is focused on building and sustaining programmes that help children and families living in poverty, impacting their lives positively by sharing the love of Jesus Christ, thus enabling them and empowering them to live an abundant life. Our focus is to provide holistic care, which provides for each child's social, emotional, physical and mental development in order that children would grow up healthy and nurtured in a safe, caring, warm and loving environment and society.
So Daphne, she has, she's written out her heart, her vision, her objectives to this. Yeah. And if you are at home this morning and you want to know more, get in contact with Penny, because I'm sure we can share some more information with you, because we can't go on for hours, as you understand this morning. So I'm sure she would share more with you. Email Penny, give her a call, and I'm sure she will share more with you. And like I said, church, I believe that actually this is a start of a new relationship for us as a church with her and the foundation. Obviously, Penny's known her for a long while, but for us as a church. But what can we pray for at the moment today, Penny?
Okay. I think it's good to pray for wisdom for Devani and Ranjani, and there are 3 other members on the board and 2 advisors. So pray for wisdom for them as they seek the way forward for Victory Foundation, to know what God's priorities are, because there seem to be lots of opportunities opening up.
Yes.
For their meeting with local pastors, so that the Lord will show them with whom and how and when Victory should be working. In fact, on Saturday, so that's, by the time you see this, that will be yesterday, they were meeting with a pastor called Patrick Anthony in a small place near Avesavella. That the Lord will anoint the Victory team to bring freedom to the folk they work with in the Avesavella area. I think they're bound in many ways by the enemy. That the registration of Victory Foundation will go forward smoothly, enabling funding to be applied for. And I just pray for peace and energy for Devani and Ranjani, because they're both very busy people.
Yes, yes. And it's been good to talk. So, church, we will send out these prayer points to you this week as well. I think that'll be a good idea to send them out over email to your church so you can pray. But over the next, like I said, months and to go past, we will be giving updates, we'll be sharing news about this and how it will